I was absolutely blown away when I found out that the Eagle Eye X6R was available again. For those of you who may have been in the flashlight scene back around 2015-ish, 2014-ish, you may remember this flashlight, which featured an XML2U2 emitter and, frankly, some of the most amazing designs that you have ever seen in your whole entire flashaholic life. Well, it's back again. This is not a retro review. You can go to fasttech.com and you can buy this today, which I recommend you do. Not many lights on this channel can hit a perfect score. This has everything that you could want. Now, there are a few changes. There's actually only one change. This is an SST40 and puts out 1400 lumens versus the 1100 lumens of the previous with XML2, but that is basically the only change. Now, this right here is a cigar grip ring that you get from kaidomain.com for $1.40 a piece, and I recommend you do that for those of you who really love to cigar grip. So this is the only thing that is not part of what you're seeing. So minus that, everything else is pretty much the same. This light comes now from a company called Mezzol. It's been reinvented briefly, and apparently they didn't sell too many, or they already sold them all, and they put them on FastTech, and thus the box says Mezzol. If you go and do a Google search, Mezzol X6R, you'll find that they had some of these for sale with SST40, and that's one of the reasons I know it's been upgraded. It no longer has XML-U2. Now, one of the things that the Chinese really don't know what they're selling. I've said that before. They have no idea what they're selling. And FastTech listing has this listed for 350 lumens, one mode. It has a bunch of blinkies on there. It has different things that are no longer with, that the original incarnation got, that this does not. And beyond that, it was just plainly inaccurate. So this is one of the lights that you have to have. It is true mode memory, which means this tail switch, which gives you a battery indication, blue charged, red not charged, obviously. It gives you the ability to change between the modes. And what you set, you can hold it down as well and get to the highest mode. You have 4 very usable modes. By just pushing down, it'll go all the way, it'll cycle through if you hold it down. And guess what? You have full mode memory, which means even if you do the low mode, and no matter what you do, or turbo, it's just high, really. It's not quite a turbo. But it tail stands. It tail stands fully and appropriately. It doesn't fall over. And it has an in-light charging. The original had 3.5 amp current draw. This has 5 amps. So you get more bang for your buck here. It's also, because of the contours of the reflector, an excellent thrower. And what we're going to do later is put this out with the Nitecore MH25S, because that's the most comparable light I have to it. And you're going to see a throw competition, and you're going to see how well this little thing stacks up to one of the leading lights today. Good, strong belt clip. And of course, again, the ability to tail stand and true mode memory, which means you get forward clicky, and when the light is off, this does nothing, which is the way it's supposed to be. So you have, honestly, some of the best ergonomics. You have a great jacket pocket size. And then, of course, here's what you get with it. You get the usual O-rings, tail cap, you get the lanyard. It came in this. And then, let's see, for some reason this was in there. But Mezzol was the company that has been dealing with it. So it was basically just a box, and apparently they sold a bunch of these, and FastTech ended up with the rest. So I was so surprised when I went to FastTech and I was able to find these. I thought the listing probably just hadn't been deleted, that it was probably an older listing, and they were going to email me back when I made the purchase and say, hey, we're sorry, this is an out-of-stock item. But I didn't take the chance. I spent, I think, $30 for a light that is worth much, much more. This is honestly worth it's worth much more. You know, I'd have paid much more than that, because this is a classic. I wanted the original but never got it. I saw all the good reviews on it at the time, and I'm going to leave some of those in the comments section here, so you can kind of read about what was and then now what is. Great beam profile. It is a mix of flood and throw, mainly throw, but because of the brightness and current regulation And by the way, it is not often you see in-light charging with current regulation. But because of that, it's an amazing thrower that just doesn't quit. It's actually really good, and it's comparable to the MH25S Night Core and Throw. So that gives you an idea of what you're dealing with. It handles its heat well. It will get hot, but you want it to because it's going to maintain its brightness, and you know that the heat is being wicked away from the LED properly because it has good heat sinking. So honestly, I am so stoked to give this light a perfect score. Now let's go outside and see why. Let's get started right here on the wall. There you go. Super, super bright. Lowest mode. Next up. Next up. Next up. So you got 4 active modes, all of them perfectly useful and memorized. All right. Pretty good blast of well-coordinated throw. Not a dedicated thrower, but an excellent pocket thrower. Very good spill, concentrated, fairly well-defined hot spot. I gotta take out my trash. There we go. Super impressive. Let's do a garage shot. Pretty dang good for a domed emitter at mid-range. These pictures, what you're seeing is fairly accurate. I'll say it is accurate, but it looks slightly throwier to me in real life than you're seeing. Just a note there. I am impressed. I am very impressed. I have wanted this light for years. Hopefully the next time I get to do a video, I'll have the measurements to those poles. I have been aiming to do that ever since I get back from San Antonio. I'm going to do, and back out here to Houston, I'm going to do a measurements to those poles so that we have a more of an effective estimate of the distance. The light is fairly warm now, but not so warm that it can't be held. I wanted to, before we end here, compare this to the MH25S by Nitecore. So both of these are similar size. I wanted to give you an idea of what this eagle eye is capable of. So here we go. On the right is going to be the Nitecore MH25S, and on the left, the eagle eye. So we're going to start with the Nitecore, and then the eagle eye. So as you can see, this is I think this is 60K. And this is going to be comparable, probably 55-ish. This is going to be slightly brighter, but they're comparable. So you're actually getting a nice competitive light here that is capable of punching in a bigger weight class. The Nitecore is going to beat it by a little, but still, it's very close. This is very strong. So let's do a wall shot with both right here. Very, very comparable. So here they both are. I just wanted to show you that before we wound out. This is quite a little performer, and anybody would be damn lucky to put this piece of history in their collection. And I say history, well, it's not history yet. It's sort of history because it has a long track record of service for a lot of people. But I'm definitely glad to have found one. You're going to want to scoop you one up before get it while the getting's good, because I'm sure pretty soon they're going to be out of stock. All right, guys, have a great night.